Hello and welcome to the sneak peek preview of C4D Connect by Game Logic Design. C4D Connect is a social networking and asset management system for Cinema 4D users when it works directly within Cinema 4D itself. On the left here we have a copy of Cinema 4D running, and I'm just going to sign into the system as Kent. And Kent has one friend here, and that is called Chris, and Chris is currently offline. So let's go to the next copy of Cinema 4D and we will log Chris in here. So Chris and Kent are now both logged in. You can see that they're logged in because their names have gone green. This is similar to other systems, and you can also say if you want to be away and the name will turn yellow on the side here, or if they do not want to be disturbed it turns red, and if they're offline or invisible it just does not have the highlighting there at all. So let's put ourselves back online again. So now that we're connected to Chris over here, what can we do with this? Well, the first thing we'll do is we'll bring up a dialogue, a little simple chat dialogue, and we will just send across a message. Hello. So that message gets sent across to the other person and they can reply and send a message back. So that's a simple chat system that's built directly into here. And what else can we do with this system? Wow, it wouldn't be that interesting in a 3D application unless we could do something with 3D now, wouldn't it? So let's create ourselves a cube, and we'll do something very simple here. We just want to send this lovely little cube across to our friend Chris on the other side there. So we click that button, it gets sent across and it pops up, and they can decide if they want to merge it with their existing scene or create a new scene. So here we will just merge it. So now you see the cube has been added to their scene over here. Let's delete that cube there, and over here we'll delete the cube as well. Now cubes are all nice and dandy, but maybe we want something a bit more complex, so let's create something a little bit more complex here. Let's create a cube, and I'm just going to undock this, and I'm going to change the orientation just so I can get to a few of the extra settings here, and I'm going to add a bend deformer. Let's add a bend deformer to this cube, and we'll give the cube some segments. So let's give it 20 by 20 by 20, and now we should be able to do something with that bend deformer to make it look a little bit different. So there we have that there, and now I'm going to also add a array here to this, and we'll just spin that around there. So now we have a bunch of deformed looking cubes there. Now I think that's okay, and Chris wants to figure out how this is actually done, so let's just send that across to them. So we just grab the array and we just drag and drop it into the chat dialog, and after a little while it comes across to the next user, Chris, and they have this over here, and they can merge it with their existing scene or create a new. Let's create a new scene, and here we have it here in the scene. It's the same array with the cube and the bend deformer attached. So you can send most things that you can find in Cinema 4D across to other users, just to show little setups and things that you may have done. Okay, so we can send 3D objects from within Cinema 4D to our friends. Now what else can we do? Well, one of the things you might want to do is you might want to send images or files from your file system across. So over in another screen here, I'm just going to select an image, and I'm going to send this image across. So I'm dragging and dropping it into the dialog system over here. So Kent is going to send this across to Chris. So we just put that in there, and it takes a few seconds to come across because the data is being sent from here all the way to America and then all the way back down to New Zealand where this demo is being made. And there it is. So that file has been sent across. So now I can click open over here to open the file up. So there we can see the flower picture was here, and it's been sent across to the next user. Now perhaps this user here also wants to know what they've sent, so you can see here they've also got all the information here. So there will be more descriptive information about what has been sent, such as file size, name, perhaps a list of the objects, but for now it's just very simple here. So if we wanted to see what image we just sent, we can click open as well. And if we wanted to see what things we'd sent to the user, we could just create a new scene here. We sent a cube there, create a new scene here, we sent those objects through there. Okay, now there's a few more little things here in this dialog. You see a little plugins menu up here. Now what is this? Well, what we can do is we can do interactive painting with our friends in our list. So let's just bring up a paint dialog here. So it's a paint dialog window for this user, and this window popped up for this user over here. So here we have Kent's window, and Kent is going to do some little painting there, and you can see it interactively updating onto the other user's machine. Now this data is being sent across the world and coming back to the next user. Now, maybe Chris wants to paint at the same time as Kent. Well, that is possible as well. They can do painting over in this window, and it gets sent across to Kent on the other side. So there's a simple painting system built into this, and this will be useful later on when you want to share renderings that you've done or screenshots, and you can help people and highlight things and show where things might be different or might need changing, just to allow you to collaborate. Or perhaps you want to do an interactive painting session with 10 of your friends all at the same time. Whatever you want to do, you'll be able to do that once this system is ready. So I'm just going to close these two dialogues here now for both these users, because we're finished with our little painting session. And now I'm going to move on to something else here. Under this plugins menu, you saw a couple of other things. One of them is screen sharing. Now this is a very early prototype of this system, but the idea would be that you'll be able to share your screen for Cinema 4D with someone else, and they'll be able to see what you're doing. So you may be able to tutor them on something and show them how to do something in Cinema 4D, or perhaps you may even want to take over their copy of Cinema 4D and click buttons and move the menus around. Similar to other systems that are out there as well, they have screen sharing abilities that will be built in. This is very basic. I'm just going to show you what this does at the moment. Very simple. Now it's going to take a while to come over. And there it comes over. So very slow at the moment, but it will be made faster. This is all on the same system at the moment, but this works fine on multiple computers, and it'll work on OS X and Windows as well. So it's simple screen sharing. Here I'm sharing my desktop, and it's coming across to the other user. I'll just close those windows now. Now, the one other thing on here was webcam, but it only really works showing webcam if you've got two separate computers and you've got the webcam going on both of them, which I don't have set up at the moment. So I'm just going to close this chat window now. C4D Connect also has a fully functional inbuilt asset management system, allowing you to create projects and share your assets with friends to collaborate together. Each user has one or more workspaces. Here we have Kent's workspace. Kent currently has one project in here called Test Project. Each workspace has a location on disk where all the assets are stored, and that can be seen here. A user can have multiple workspaces and multiple projects. You can create projects and edit projects at any time. This project, called Test Project, has a description, and it has two users currently who have access. Kent himself has full access to this project, and Chris has read-only access to all the assets in this project. At any time, you can add or remove any of your people that you are currently in contact with. To add a file to the project, all you do is click the Add File button. Select the project that you wish to add your file to. This could also contain folders and subfolders. You select the folder or project root that you want to add your file to, and you give it a name. Some cubes. Then just simply click Add to upload the asset to the cloud. A dialog will pop up that will show the progress of the file being uploaded to the cloud. Now the file has been uploaded. It is 100%. So now if we come over to Chris, Chris has read access to Kent's project. If I go into Chris's get file command, here we see two projects, Chris's own project and also the test project that belongs to Kent, as we can see here. I open the project up, and we already have this file sent through previously from another session. I'll just close that. I'll now double click on this to download the file from the cloud and open it up in the user's file system. There you can see the progress of the file being downloaded, and there it is, loaded up. If you would like to, you can also reference the file, which will add a reference to it. References also come with a tag. This tag allows you to download the file again from the asset management system in the cloud. Here's also the location of that file on disk. I'll just click this now to download this file again. Files that have been downloaded and haven't changed also get cached on disk, so they do not need to be downloaded again. Notice here that Kent has no access to this project, cannot check in or check out the asset. Let's try and add a new version of this file. Now I want to check out this file and make changes to it. So I click check out. The file is now checked out from the asset management system. Let's go back over to Kent, to Chris's account. Click on get file, refresh it. We'll see there the file has now been highlighted blue. And you can also see if I expand it, the file has been checked out and has been checked out by Kent. So back on Kent's side, we'll just add a small sphere. And we're happy with that. Now we'll just check that file in. The file then gets uploaded to the cloud again. Over here, there's currently no progress indication for this, so we just have to wait a few seconds before that file is actually uploaded to the cloud, and it will turn 100%. And there we go, the file is now uploaded to the cloud. So let's go over to Chris. We'll click get file. If we refresh this, we'll see that there's now a version. We see now that the file has been checked in. What we'll do is we'll just re-get that file. So let's just close this down completely. And go get file. We'll just get that file again. You can see here now that file contains the sphere. So there we have the workflow of checking in and checking out an asset. And maybe we want to give permission to Chris to be able to modify this file. So let's go on here, we'll click edit project, and we'll let them have write access, and we'll update the project. So now we come back into here, we go get file, let's update the project. Well, let's check out to see if we can edit this. First we'll need to sign out and sign in due to just a little technical glitch. So we now sign back in, and we can now see that we can now have checkout privileges to this project. Let's just check our workspace again. So you can see here Chris's workspace. We'll switch to Kent's test project, and we can now check out files from Kent's project. So let's just make a change. Let's check out this file. Let's modify it a bit. Let's just move the sphere a bit, and then we'll check it back in again. Here the file has been uploaded again, and currently there is no progress. A couple more seconds and the file will be uploaded to the cloud. There we go, 100%. So let's come back over to Kent, and we will go and we will just refresh this file. Get file. Re-download it. It's already open. Do we want to open it with the same name title? Yes. Click close. Close that. Now you can see the file has now been uploaded. You might want to add a texture to your file. Currently there's a very simple version of adding textures, but there'll be a proper thumbnail view coming later on. But for now, all we do is we select the file, select the project, click add, and the file will be uploaded to the cloud. Again, this takes a few seconds to upload. The upload is now complete. Let's go over to Chris's workspace, and we'll click get file. We'll just refresh that. And we'll see here that we have the file, and at the moment there is a little thumbnail which is not too pretty, but again, as I said before, there will be a proper thumbnail view coming at some point in the future. So we like the look of that image. Let's download it and open it up. And there we have it, sharing of textures. One other thing we might want to do is just add some extra folders. My textures. Let's add a folder called My Textures to the test project. New folder. and there's the folder there. Just to show off a few extra features that we have in here, I'll just right click on some of these files and let's just check out a few of them. So those files are now checked out, and you can see that they're checked out over on the side there in the panel. Here are the pending files that you have checked out. Let's go over to Chris's workspace, refresh, and we can see the same thing. We can see that Kent has these files checked out and that they're doing something with them. That means you are not able to make any modifications to these files at all. We'll come back to Kent's workspace. We will just revert those changes because we don't want to check them out. And again, coming back, we can see that they're no longer checked out by Kent. Now some of you may be wondering, where are these files on disk and how are they stored? Well, I'll just show you one workspace at the moment. This is Kent's workspace. So all the files that Kent checks into his workspace are stored under a folder with his name. And right underneath that is the name of the project that these files are located. And then we have the assets themselves. They're all located here. Then we also have some asset info. Currently, these are just small thumbnails of the textures that have been added to the project. These are all in a hierarchical format. Now, the one other thing we have here is the SQLite have cache. This is just a little small database which is what files we've got from the database and some extra information about those files, so that the database does not need to send all the information to the user every time you do something. If you already have the information here and you're in sync, then you do not need to download anything extra from the servers. Here you also see Chris's directory, and they have one project and an asset folder, and it has currently one file in there that has been downloaded from Chris's workspace. Well, that concludes the presentation on the asset management system. It is by far complete. Coming soon will be user profiles, the ability to have an asset store, and also to be able to share all your assets online on a web page environment, as well as sharing them within projects with the users here. So you'll be able to upload and share files with people, as well as potentially sell your assets to other users. There will also be support for presets, so that you can upload all your favorite presets for Cinema 4D and share them with everyone. Also things such as scripts and sounds, anything you like, you'd be able to share with everyone in the world, even if they are not a friend of yours in the list. You can just make things public or private, depending on your preference at the time. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and please check out my site C4DConnect.com when it becomes available. Also check out GameLogicDesign.com for extra information about the technology behind all of this. Thank you very much. I'm Kent Barber from Game Logic Design and C4D Connect.